Amazon live. Hello, sorry, and we are live. I forgot we were doing this in English. Man, sorry, guys. I only had one sip of beer. Sorry. So we are live. Welcome to the first episode of Crypthusiasts, if I'm not mistaken, of 2023.
Yes.
Today, special episode. Naturally, with Stan from Crypto Belgia and special guest. Still need to figure out the pointing here. Beers and Bitcoin, also a Dutch-speaking live streamer. Invited him here just by reason I like beers, and last year we had a few talks concerning Bitcoin, etc. And I wanted him here live. So I would say introduce yourself, what you're about, etc.
Perfect. Thank you, Dimi. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, indeed, I'm a Belgian streamer as well. I do analysis, Bitcoin, of altcoins, fundamental analysis, just everything to do with crypto, but I also focus on just general economic situations. I think that's a super interesting topic right now with the inflation going on, tightening, rate hikes, all that good stuff. So we go over that on a regular basis because it helps us navigate the crypto space, but also super interesting just for stocks and other types of assets that might be able to make you money. So that's what we do on my channel. And of course, drink some beers on a regular basis during the live streams to make it all more fun, because finance can be a little bit boring. So we try to mix it up with some good old Belgian beers.
In finance, we always talk about liquidity. No one ever said it shouldn't be alcohol. And I hope by mentioning it, I'm not getting flagged by YouTube once again. But anyway, so this week we're going to cover, pretty much a variety of different news items. As you guys know from other Crypthusiast episodes, considering Beers and Bitcoin is here, we took the time to make a boozy dedicated episode. Currently, I'm drinking special beer here called Dorre from Zatleeuw. What are you guys drinking here?
Personally, I went for the Gouden Carolus Christmas edition. So yeah, we're in the beginning of the year, still some holiday spirits.
Yes. Stan?
Something simple, Makshuf, because all the rest of the beer in the closet was not good anymore.
Well, that sounds a little bit like the crypto markets. Bitcoin is doing well, the other things aren't going as well. I would say let's head on over towards a little bit of a market update. In the back rooms, we talked a little bit about it. So, Beers and Bitcoin, I'm going to give you the honors to do a little market recapitulation.
I'll share my screen here real quick. Full screen. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. So, right, you see the screen right now, or
we can see the screen.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, let's just look at the nice Bitcoin chart for this week. So we saw a really nice pump. So we're up 21, 22 almost % this week. So of course, it's safe to say that this week has been pretty bullish. What caused this pump? Of course, we will go over that more in detail later in this live stream. But the thing that we do know already is that there were a lot of short liquidations, which of course made this pump more extreme, let's say. Me personally, I'm looking at this declining wedge. I also have the 200-day here. So what I'm expecting is a small retrace, maybe to retest it. And then we will see where the strength is. Will we just fall back into the wedge and maybe go lower? Or will we have a nice retest and continue to go sideways, or maybe make a new local high? So that will be interesting to see how the price will react at those levels. I think that will be very interesting to see. But the thing that I really liked during this pump was the Bitcoin dominance. So that's something that I talk about regularly because it's super important for the Bitcoin dominance to go up before we can really say, okay, we will start a new cycle. All the trash is out of the market, all the useless altcoins, all that liquidity has gone back to Bitcoin, and we can start over again. So we're seeing this uptrend, and of course, it's not like huge. Like we bottomed around 39%. Right now, we're at 43%, but we can see the strength, and especially during a pump of the markets, normally alts are outperforming Bitcoin. And right now we're seeing the opposite, and that means strength is on Bitcoin's side. When we will, or if we see a retrace of the Bitcoin price to this 200-day or maybe to the support of the wedge, it will be interesting to see if the Bitcoin dominance continues to go up. We want to see the Bitcoin dominance, we want to see it rise during a Bitcoin pump, but also during a Bitcoin dump. So that will be definitely something that I will be looking at. Because that, of course, will be a good sign and will give us some confidence that we are in the end phase of the bear market and just starting the cycle over again. I don't know if there's any input of you guys for this analysis.
Yeah, like like when you see it now, we're now at the levels right before the FTX crash. So
Indeed.
that will be a good level to test, right around the 21K mark, I think. It needs some more power to push through there. If it's pushed through 21K, it needs to make some sort of bottom to create more power to go to the upside. It's not going to be in one big candle up. I think that's not possible. Because this week I was watching another TA analyst, and he just told exactly the same. 21K, probably hard ceiling levels from the FTX crash, and then they need to make a floor to go up once more or down if it fails. What I've seen, and maybe I can bring that up. No, I can't bring it up right now. Is the DXY is losing strength big time? Maybe. I have it reversed, Timmy.
Wait.
Wait, give me a second.
Remove it. Yeah, you need to stop sharing Beers and Bitcoin, otherwise I can't.
Okay. Here you go.
Yep. Share.
And you kitty cats.
Can you see it?
Sorry.
He's back. He's back.
No mistake.
Okay, you see the screen? This is the DXY. That's the dollar index. If that one goes up, all the rest goes down. That's actually the most easy way to describe it. This has been going on for a very, 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 very long time. It dragged the stock markets down and the crypto markets down. Alongside with Terra Luna and FTX, we got beaten hard. But right around here, we broke out of that cycle. And since then, it's going down and down and down. We're approaching the $100 mark. Let me put one here. The $100 mark is right around here. There will be some sort of barrier here, and there will be a slight push up because that's an, how do we say it? English. A mind. Help me out, please.
Mind barrier?
A mind barrier, that's a round number. But that's something we've seen the last couple of weeks. It keeps on going down. What's good for the stock market and the crypto market. I've sent a link to Dimitri involving the miner capitulation that was going on because they were mining in loss the last couple of weeks and months because the electricity costs more than what they made in Bitcoin because of the low prices. There you can see the balances of the miners and what happened. When you go one down, there's one that's, look, you see the net positions, they are selling. The red means they're selling, the green means they're holding. And you see the prices went too low, so they needed to sell to keep on going on. The last few weeks, we heard and we saw some articles of miner firms and miner farms who were going bankrupt because the costs were too high and non-profitable in the prices that Bitcoin were in. So hopefully, with this pump and sustainability of 20K, it betters for the miners, so the hash rates keep up and they're not selling like crazy, because miners make a big part of the volume in Bitcoin, and if they are all selling, they can make a big splash down.
Indeed. Well, where it concerns the Bitcoin market, I'm seeing plenty of mixed signals. Actually, everything you guys have been saying up until now. Myself, I also expect a few, well, corrections to occur on the short term. Good news is, naturally, as Stan said, we are now back at the same levels before the FTX crash, which implies selling pressure is off. There's some new hopium. However, I'm way too early seeing a variety of influencers and crypthusiasts calling in, yeah, it's time for a new bull run. I'm like, nah, that's way too early. I mentioned it in the back rooms. Myself, I'm of the opinion the bull run won't start up until the next Bitcoin halving took place, which will be around May 2024. Before that, we might see some relief, but that's going to start somewhere fourth quarter of 2023. At this point, I'm expecting sideways market, perhaps a little bit of relief to max 30K. Not even in this quarter, but following quarters somewhere that the market's finally relaxing a little bit. Now, with the relief that's going on right now, just as Stan said, there's indeed the selling pressure, which is lowering, but any real other pointers I'm not very much seeing here. So yeah, I find it a little bit strange as to what is occurring. Is it the miners themselves keeping the prices down? Who knows? I know with the CPI numbers, and for that I'm going to reshare my screen here. These are important dates, so you guys better take a screenshot. By reason, the latest CPI numbers have been released for December of last year. As you guys can see, they've been launched, and they said, look, inflation has been less worse. However, I am more curious about these ones. Reason thereof is, well, if you follow a little bit the CPI numbers or the consumer price index numbers, it concerns the US markets. Well, back in November, they said, look, we are not going to print more additional money, and we're going to try to lower these numbers or keep them stable for November, December. And starting from January, it will be anew. So they will probably vote on on heightening the debt ceiling that I've heard. And that's quite a new news item. I don't think I prepared it here in advance, but anyway. So that's something to look out for, and keep in mind all these dates because, well, the CPI or consumer price index is of heavy influence to not only the crypto market but also to traditional finance markets. It's something to keep an eye on, and in the past several months, we did notice that if inflation was estimated higher, well, it impacted Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market, as we are still being considered as risk assets, and those are the first ones to react. So keep these dates in mind, save them in your agenda if you are an active trader, because these will be of importance.
Indeed, Dimi, if I can jump in for 1 second. Like you said, risk assets are really impacted by the CPA data, and of course, unrelated to the CPA data, but the rate hikes depend on what number we get. And we've been getting a lot of rate hikes last year. Right now, they're kind of slowing down, but still, we're expecting a 25 basis points in the beginning of February. But important to know is that those rate hikes from last year, we will only feel them literally right now, 1 year later. So it will be really important to notice, okay, how will the markets react on those rate hikes? Because especially last year, those rate hikes, 75, 50 basis points rate hike, they will have a big impact on our economy. And it will be interesting to see how the market will react, because right now they're slowing down and they might stop March or April, but that doesn't mean that those rate hikes from last year won't have their impact. So I think it will be important to keep an eye on that. And I actually I'm gonna share my screen real quick. I have the S&P charts. So it's pretty important to see the similarities. So this is the S&P 500, which gives us a general sign of how the stock market looks like, and you can see we're at a clear resistance right now. But it's super interesting to see because we're actually in a similar situation that we were in during the dot-com bubble. So I actually um, I saw the similarities here, and it's you can see it looks literally the same, and that's what I find super interesting. Let me actually pop up the 200-day and our bull market support band as well. So what we can see is we had 3 clear rejections from our resistance line. Then we went a little bit lower, made a double top, and then we went higher. And right now we're actually doing exactly the same. So right now we're around this level, just below making the double top. But you can see after that, we just went straight down, and even the timeline is pretty similar. This was February of 2002, and the bottom occurred around the summer, which is, you can see, it's a significantly lower bottom. So if we compare this chart, let's keep it in mind. You can see how similar this looks, and can see we're right now retesting around the 4K level. So what I'm expecting for the S&P, and of course, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin, but it actually kind of does as well, because both of them are risk assets. So if the S&P goes down, most of the times Bitcoin goes down as well. Of course, that's no guarantee, but most of the times we see something like that happen. And we can see the S&P right now around the 4K level. I'm expecting it to go up maybe till 4.1K. So the double top that we saw in 2002, but then most likely path is down, in my opinion. I think we will see something similar as our dot-com bubble. And then we saw a bottom occurring during the summer, maybe a little bit later. And that would actually make sense, in my opinion, because of the recession fears that we're having. A recession is calculated to happen during the summer or maybe first quarter of 2024. So this actually would replicate that scenario perfectly. And I think this will have a big impact on the crypto market as well. So I'm expecting a similar scenario to play out for both of them.
There's indeed an interesting future ahead where it concerns Bitcoin and the markets. I would
That's
dare say it will
actually
probably play out like the previous cycles. However, there are a few things that might diverge a little bit from them. I mean, if I take a look at the previous cycles, we had one distinct top or two tops, but very close. This cycle, there was a clear divergence. There were two tops, but time frame was actually quite long before we got wrecked entirely. And with wrecked, naturally the word is creatively being used. It went down, corrections, yeah. Myself, I always thought we would have decent support at 20K, so was actually surprised myself when we fell down towards 15K levels due to FTX. I was surprised. I will admit my mistake in between brackets by saying to people, yeah, if you're around the 20K, you're good to go. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but you can't take in account macro factors. That's something you can't control, and that's something you can't analyze because that's something that happens and you don't know that it's coming. Take for example, right in beginning of the bull run of 2021, the COVID crash,
Yeah.
the big V. Nobody saw that coming. That was 1, 2, 3 ton, and you show us the SPX and the .com bubble. I hope for Bitcoin and crypto, it decouples and it doesn't correlate on that moment because then the next cycle is ruined, in my opinion. If it follows the same pattern, it goes 100 degrees against the halving cycles of Bitcoin. So it will be very interesting to see how it will stack up. And Bitcoin hasn't seen a lot of big crises, the housing crisis was before Bitcoin. Um, the one of 2008 was before Bitcoin. .com bubble was way before Bitcoin.
Yeah, true.
Now, let's see what happens. Can be an enjoyable ride or a nightmare like we have had an entire year. So
Yes.
let's see.
True. We had one recession during the lifetime of Bitcoin, and that was, of course, the COVID crash, which was quickly printed out of, let's say.
And it
So,
was very very fast in the the uptick afterwards. It was bought up like candy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the money was cheap back then, so it got bought up super quickly indeed. Yeah, it will be interesting to see, but I don't think. Yeah, Bitcoin is still a risk asset. So
Yep.
if we see a recession and if we see something similar as the .com bubble, I do think Bitcoin will see the results of that as well. Will it have an impact on the 4-year cycle? Probably. I'm in the camp of the fact that we won't see those 4-year cycles playing out forever anyway, because people front run, people think ahead.
Yep.
So I think that definitely will have a big impact.
Cool. I'm going to say let's head on over towards the next subject. Now I'm doubting. Who's in the mood to talk about artificial intelligence, or has someone a preference to get right into the Shanghai upgrade of Ethereum? I'm going to let you guys choose.
I heard your space about AI, so I think that's a good topic for you now.
Go.
So, some news. Oh, sorry, wrong article. So there's this article. Bill Gates props up artificial intelligence against metaverse and Web3 tag. Now, you guys might wonder why artificial intelligence? What is he up to? Well, quite frankly, here's the reason. He's tooting his own horn once again. I can tell the beer is starting to work.
Is that deal actually finished already? Because here it says in talks to invest 10 billion, but I saw somewhere that he already invested it, but I'm not completely sure. That's why I'm asking.
Well, it's a little bit two-sided. Indirectly, he already invested a small part into AI, but his Microsoft corporation itself is still in talks to inject the 10 billion.
Okay.
So that's something which is going to occur where it concerns artificial intelligence. Well, Beers and Bitcoin, you have been to my space, and probably others who will be seeing this live stream as well. In it, I talk that artificial intelligence is going to heavily influence the crypto markets and naturally blockchain. However, in my research I've done since the space, I've been analyzing on the download a few coins. Once again, artificial intelligence is going to end up a little bit like a buzzword like Web 3. By reason, I've taken a look at the top 5 AI coins, and generally AI equals automated market maker is just being used as a synonym that I noticed. And it's really going to be about bot trading, etc. However, in my space, I did talk about its influence on NFTs and the metaverse, about simulations and simulating a variety of people, or even people making use of the aforementioned chat GPT in order to, well, I'm going to say, have bots imitate themselves in order to have a presentation. So that's good for businesses, etc. But I did also talk a little bit about another crypto project I'm involved with, mainly Gumroad, whereby I am afraid there will be bad individuals starting to imitate and make use of artificial intelligence, well, to imitate models and actually start doctoring a variety of images, videos, sell them as something unique, as if being the said person, while in reality it's just a bot. So, when it concerns crypto spaces and etc., I'm a little bit in the middle. I see positive sides, but at the same time, I want to warn people as well and say just look out. By reason, as mentioned with the top 5 AI coins, whereby AI is just a synonym for automated market maker. And if I'm saying those 3 words, automated market maker, think Terra Luna and what it did to the crypto markets. So
Yeah,
it
but
implies that AI isn't infallible, but at the same time, yeah. So I
automatic market maker is something that drives Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and all those other decentralized finance exchanges. So that's the term they use to have an automatic liquidity pool to trade against. That's all. Um, what I've seen is that they are making NFTs with AI. So AI, automatic random generated NFTs. NFTs that evolve with AI over time. That's the things I'm seeing now. And that's something that's going to be hyped in the coming quarter or two, I think.
indeed.
See a lot of little scam projects popping up saying they're using AI. They're just having a backdoor to a bigger company where they have an account and they just click regenerate. That's all they do. But there's some projects that are being pitched towards me. Fetch AI and
Yeah, that
something
one I know.
else.
And Flex, yeah, that's Flex coin probably.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? BitTensor is something that has been put up to investigate and then doing research about in the coming weeks. So I would say if I have the results about that research, and if it is any good, I will post it in the Telegram group or on this channel.
Yeah, probably in one of my very first Crypto Bull episodes for this
Mhm.
year. I'm assuming I'm going to do it next week. Probably will be about an AI coin. I'm just going to research a few ones and see which is very typical for an AI
Yep.
coin that I can immediately set the basis and say, look, it's going to be like that, 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 and that.
But it
Um,
is going to be a hype word for 2023, probably
it
AI.
already is. It already
Yeah,
is.
Yep.
I can guarantee that one.
I agree.
So,
The thing is, what are they going to use it? Where are they going to use it for? My apologies. And is it going to be useful to have a blockchain next to it? You can make a whole lot of things without blockchain or crypto, and then say we are having a token and that's used for, but it doesn't have any use case. That's just something we have to look out for. It has to be used
well,
in crypto or with a blockchain to
on
be
that account,
interesting.
I dare say there exist decent applications, and in that case, I find it weird how Bill Gates actually pronounced it in the article. I'm going to reshare the title. So here he said, "Props up AI against metaverse and Web3 tech."
No,
Uh,
that's
in
bullshit.
in my opinion, propping it up against, that's some bad wording. By reason, AI will make part of the metaverse. And from another community I wholeheartedly believe in, and that's going to be Ravencoin. These guys are involved with, well, it's a blockchain dedicated towards NFTs and creating digital assets. With a few members of the community, I've had talks about integrating AI as a software on the blockchain, meaning
Thank you.
really minting an AI bot on the blockchain. And I had talks with these guys. They said we can, in on this occasion, incorporate it into a metaverse, meaning you have something like what they have, Braveland. You've got naturally a variety of people, real people who walk around there with a business, like selling all their NFTs with or without additional perks if you purchase them. But at the same time, you can actually give it, that metaverse, an extra dimension by reason you are going to introduce AI, AI on the blockchain within said metaverse, meaning you have, well, a digitally created community, digitally created metaverse with very smart NPCs. And I'm going to refer towards things like Westworld, if you know the series, with the
Yeah.
variety of bots and AI. That's something which is coming true within the digital world with the introduction of AI. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit surprised about Bill Gates saying, yeah, propping it up against the metaverse. Whereas in reality, it will make part of the metaverse. The variety of NFTs will be attached to it.
On the other hand, we still need a metaverse that's actually being used. If you look at the figures of attendance in metaverses, that's not to write home about. The one from Meta is hardly being used, and
Sorry, that's a cat.
and the one in Meta is hardly being used, and the other ones aren't not that much used. It hasn't been widespread as everybody is hyping about, and that's the problem with it. For some metas, especially the one in virtual reality, you need to have an expensive glasses. Those costs in between 700 euros and 3,000 euros, I think. Correct me if
Something
I'm
like
wrong.
I don't have any.
You need to have the VR glasses. You need to have a membership to access that metaverse. And there is something. If you go into the metaverse in that open world, you need to do something. There has to be something to do. Not you walk around and oh look, somebody is vending. There has to be.
Real life connection.
Yes, interaction with other people. There needs to be some parties, some things you can go and look at, and it's a bit slim. And the thing is, the past year I've seen dozens of projects starting a metaverse. I've checked out like 6 or 7 of them, and yeah, they can better bundle their power and make one good one. That's what I'm saying,
That's
True.
in
true.
my opinion.
I agree. I think the metaverse will be valuable, like in maybe 5 or maybe even 10 years,
Yep.
but I think it's way too early. Like it's just not there yet, and I don't think a lot of people really enjoy like using it and taking or participating in the metaverse. It will need time, it will need more development, it will need more money, of course, but yeah, the use case is there, but I think it's too early.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with that AI integration, you can cheat a bit because you can prop
True.
it full of,
Yeah,
of
true.
in AI NPCs, and it looks like it's very busy.
Mhm.
And that's the thing they're going to do in the coming time, I think. Just testing that out, see if the interaction with the real people works,
Mhm.
and then fine tune it some more. So you have the feeling then that you're talking to real people, but they're just NPCs.
Indeed. What we do need to remind, and that's a little bit the sentiment I'm sensing here, so I'm in full agreement with you guys. Where it concerns metaverse and Web3, it is still in its infant shoes, and I would even push it further. It's not even in its infant shoes; it still is being born.
Mm.
Most of the metaverses which currently exist are actually pseudo metaverses. by reason they aren't fully decentralized to begin with, and real life interaction, meaning that there's a connection towards real life, is severely lacking with money, by reason in most metaverses that I know of, you can buy a variety of NFTs with supposed perks, but not many perks exist that connect towards the real world. For example, in a few of my blog posts back on my main website, I've been talking about metaverse, whereby I said a real metaverse is whereby there's a high degree of interaction, but also whereby you are really inside of it, and that's with the VR goggles, etc. But that each interaction you do also has an effect in the real world. For example, if you go in a metaverse towards a pizza shop, it's one of the examples I use, and you buy there a pizza, the real world effect would be that a real physical pizza is being delivered at your home through your interaction with the metaverse. At that point, I will say that's metaverse. Why? You are doing actions in an alternate universe, a digital one, but which connects back towards us. That's a real metaverse. Currently, everything is digital and remains digital. Interaction with the real world is, I'm not going to say severely lacking, but there's still, I'm going to say, a lot of work to be done, as you guys said. So
Yeah.
that's the difference. When it concerns Web3, well, I see also plenty of projects which are promising, which have to do with establishing a decentralized network. However, they aren't true Web3. By reason, there's the lack of interconnectivity between the chains. Everything is stuck within one central network, and you still need, in order to access a variety of services, have a variety of accounts. In a tree web tree, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever other coins and networks are bridged and are really interacting with each other. That it doesn't matter if you log in with a MetaMask wallet geared on the Binance blockchain, but that login on the Binance blockchain allows you to do interactions with the Ethereum network. Those are the kind of bridges which are lacking, which doesn't really make a real Web3.
That's the problem the crypto space is having now. If you look at all the exploits that happened the past 2-3 years, it's almost always a bridge exploit. That technology is not on point, and that needs to be fine-tuned and shaved down and secured
Indeed.
before you're going to link all the blockchains and all the L1s and L2s and L3s together. If you see $200 million hack, $300 million hack, it's always a bridge exploit, and always the same one. I think they're just copying, pasting over, and just reusing the same crap code over and over and over again. It's way too easy, and I think that's going to be a work that's going to be evolving very slowly. And if one guy develops a bridge that cannot be hacked or exploited, that's the guy who's going to be rich in the coming years, because everybody is going to use that technology. That's all I needed to say. Sorry.
Yeah, the thing is, with the breaches and the exploit,
Yep.
you make a very fair point by saying they are copying code. In reality, they
It is,
all do. If you
of
look at the
course.
variety of tokens, and that's one of the things I do in my Crypto Bull episodes, if I see, oh, it has an Ethereum contract, oh, it has a Binance contract, token sniffer, and guaranteed if it's a scam project or a very hyped up or a shield project, guaranteed there will be more than 10 other coins that I encounter which it has a similarity of, well, between 70 to 90%. And that just by reason people copy and they adjust code. Most, well, Bitcoin was, for example, the very first, but if you going to compare its source code with the initial launch of Ethereum, its source code, you will see that there's more than 80% of likeliness between the two. And it's
Of
not that
course.
they built Ethereum from the ground up. No. They took the source code of Bitcoin and started making adjustments. And well, and that's naturally an entire other discussion that we can have here. But in the meantime, Ethereum network has been a little bit of a patch blanket, will I say. So there's a lot of improvements which have been going on, etc. And
Mhm.
it became something else naturally, whereby the likeliness with Bitcoin has been further lowered. But do remind yourself that a lot of tokens have similarities with each other. And generally, if we're talking about tokens, um, general differences are the name, their quantity, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, but you have so many functions you can use, and all those functions are hard. All the big amount of those functions are the same. You can send the token, you can receive the token, you can store the token. It runs on that blockchain. You have that amount of tokens. That's the name of the token, and I have tax or fees. Those are the things you can program in Solidity on a
Mhm.
token smart contract. Uh, you can make a completely different contract, but if you have a contract that is used thousands of times and that has been proved, everybody's free to use everybody else's code. That's called open source. For instance, if you look at all the Bitcoin clones or the Ethereum clones or whatever, they're using each other's codes and they're making it more them or better. I say or for a reason because there are some blockchains with big problems. Um, but it's normally in the IT world or in the technological world to work further on a basis or a foundation that has been led. And that's the things we are now seeing. People are taking each other's codes, not knowing that code is not valid or not secure. And that's the reason we have that amount of exploits.
Yeah, that's
I've,
one of
I've
the.
talked about this hours and hours with my friend Jamie from, I can say it again, SafeSwap. And
Yeah.
he says exactly the same. I can use code, I can copy the code, I can take it open source from somewhere, but I'd like to build it from the ground up. Okay, it costs more money, it costs more time. I'm having a lot of development time. People are getting anxious. Oh, well, not Moon and not. He doesn't care. He just keeps building.
Hmm.
Of course, that has a big caveat. You have a project that goes slower in development, but it's developed right. It's been tested thoroughly and has been proven thoroughly. But people in the crypto world, unfortunately, have the attention span of a goldfish. Sorry if I say it, it is. People want to invest money and have to double back next week. And
Indeed.
sorry, if you wanted that, you have to enter in 2016, 2017. Those days are, I'm sorry to say, more and more over. There are a few moonshots, a few tokens that going crazy, few coins that are going crazy, but in the general, I don't see that happening anymore. Or we have to have a crazy bull run in 2024 or the end of 2023. And I
Well,
hope so because I like to make money, of course. But
well, that's the
True.
case with most of the crypto market. Plenty of speculators and very few who understand and know fundamentals. That's yeah one of the reasons why I started doing these live streams and trying to account myself as an educator on a variety of social media to bring people above like look there's more behind it than you guys think. But yeah, that's just me.
No,
um
indeed, I agree. I think that's maybe one of the biggest weak points of crypto. Like it has this get rich quick narrative around it, and scammers use that to literally lure in people and just make themselves a quick buck. And millions of people lose a lot of money because of that. And yeah, it's the sad reality, but that's I think as an investor, you just yeah, you should do your homework and don't fall for those things. But of course, with influencers, marketing, all that stuff, yeah, it's pretty easy for people to get tricked, and it's sad to see, but yeah, I guess it is how it is.
even, may I say this, Dimitri, on the live stream?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Even the show they aired on streams. I don't know if you see it, Beer. I'm gonna call you Beer because I don't know your first name. Sorry.
Don't worry. It's Nolan, by the
Uh,
way.
even that show that aired on the streams a few weeks ago has a big phony and a big scam artist in it. I don't know if you've seen it. If you take all the main characters of that show and you go and search for their history, there's one guy who's really, really, really scammy. Just look him up. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to do defamation or all that crap. But in the Crypto België Telegram group and in some other closed groups, that guy has been talked about being a scam artist. But he gets promoted on national television as a person prominent in crypto. People start to believe in him. He has an education platform, hint number one, and he scams people to go to Portugal to do some
Business.
education. And the people who go over there get nothing in return, just nothing, a few measly lessons. And he's been doing that since 2016.
Indeed.
And still he gets on TV and he gets people's heads turned. And there is no regulation. And me and Dimitri have talked about this subject for a very, very, very long time, since the beginning of our streams, I think 2 years ago now.
Yeah, that's
Regulation is needed, but we don't like regulation because we do like living in the Wild West. But we also know it can't go on years and years and years and years like this, like an unregulated sort of asset, if you will. And that's the problem we're having now. People getting scammed, but you can't do shit because you have been scammed with something that doesn't exist. If
because
if crypto would be regulated, those people who would put forward education in education platforms and making a living out of it would have to make an official firm, if you will, and would need to have a document that says, hey, I'm a licensed educator in crypto. Now everybody can do this, even people with bad intentions. People like us, we just like to inform people and educate
Indeed.
people. It's not like we are asking money for it, but there are people who are asking a lot of money and getting information that's absolute garbage.
Indeed. And I even want to say, considering the programs you've talked about, I was approached to participate. I was in the selections, but I was
Yes,
refused by a simple
yes.
reason. I say what I think on how things stand. And at that point, it isn't really showbiz like. Otherwise, if they didn't do it, you'd probably have seen me on, the series Fire on streams. I was approached by the producer and I was withheld. Same with the follow up documentary, whereby Stan called. I was approached, withheld once again by reason I lack showbiz mentality, in reason of I'm not a very flamboyant person who shills things. I speak up my mind, I try to educate people, and I say things as they are. And probably if they were to film me and they would have accepted me, more than 99% of my words probably would be censored by reason that I tend to use the words fuck, shit, and shit quite creatively.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's just me. But
No,
who knows,
try.
maybe in the future. I'll definitely make mention of you
But
guys.
the problem is, those shows are the first thing people see on the TV. I'll take an episode from that streams episode, the first very one, and you see that Bitcoin family sitting on the table. They have sold it all, their houses, their cars. They sold their company, and they're living in Portugal and all over the world, living off Bitcoin. Very nice if you can do that, but if you do that now, or if you did that end 2021, you would be in some trouble, if you may.
Some
And
trouble.
yeah, I would call it. I'm calling it some trouble. The other thing the other thing I see in all those shows, and the one on the national on the national channel VRT, is a guy who lives in Hungary. Eh? He works under the dome of spaarverken.be. Very nice guy. I talked to the guy on Twitter and I talked to him in private. He just saved his ass off to just went to Hungary and live for free over there. That's not completely crypto. That was 1/3 or something. He does that for a hobby. But in that show, they reverse the cards, of course. So information is not always bulletproof, and that's a disclaimer that's not always being shared with people. And I think that's a bit of a shame.
True.
Yeah.
No, I agree on all those points. I think regulations are super important, just not only to protect investors, but in general for adoption. There should be clear regulations, what you
Yep.
can do, what you can't do, taxes, all that stuff.
Yep.
I
Especially
think
that's a problem, eh?
Yeah.
Taxes.
True.
Like a year ago, Dimi, maybe longer, we did an
Uh,
AMA with a guy who works in taxes in my Telegram group.
Oh, it's almost 2 years ago. It
It
was
was 2 years
one of
ago.
our
Yeah,
very
2
first-
years ago, we did an AMA with a guy who knows taxes. He does that for a job, and he went to in our Telegram group, and he couldn't answer all the questions because there weren't any rules about it.
Yeah.
He just referred back to stock rules, shareholders and stock rules every time, and like. I've bought a lot of crypto. I did some trading. I'm trading weekly or daily or monthly. How can I cash that out to the bank? He said, yeah, if they want to accept that, but because that's a big problem. If your money comes from abroad, your transaction gets flagged. You need to clarify to the bank, yes, those funds are coming out of crypto. And then it's up to the bank to approve it or not. And we know from being in another group for people who are figuring all that out, not all banks accept crypto. And that's a big problem because you can buy in, that's no problem. Most 99% of the time you can use your credit card or your just normal bank card or whatever to buy in. But cashing out was a problem till the credit cards, the crypto.com cards and so came out. But even that gets regulated in time, probably, those crypto cards.
True.
But we'll see in the coming years, it will probably become tighter and more restricted. But it can be a good thing on the other hand, too.
Definitely. I think 2023, 2024 will be the years of regulations with everything happening, FTX, Celsius, Voyager, all that. Yeah, all that stuff. I think it's inevitable for regulators to step in and then make sure the rules are set and everything is clear.
The big thing we are looking out, me and Dimitri, we did an entire episode about it, is the upcoming MiCA regulation from Europe. Have you looked into that?
Not in detail, like just a little bit, but not super detailed, no.
Try to get into detail. There's a few dirty details inside of it, which are going to be quite important for technical analysis.
Okay.
Believe me.
But we will do a follow-up episode probably when it gets closer and we get more information from all the sources where we get information from, of course.
Yeah, of course. Just one more point I wanted to go back to, like what you were saying about the series and everything. I agree, it's sad to see, but on the other hand, I don't think it's surprising. Like, they want clicks, they want views, they want shares.
Yeah, of course.
Like everyone else, you see all those crypto YouTubers, and then it's part of the game, I guess. It's all about money, it's all about clicks, and that's the result of it. And is it fair? Probably not, but yeah, that's how it goes, I guess, right now. And then people use it. You can see it with YouTube as well. Like, I do it a little bit myself, just fancy thumbnails and everything. First, I didn't like do it, but you can just see it generates more clicks, it generates more views, and you want your message to reach as many people as possible. So yeah, it's sad, but you kind of have to get a bigger reach. But yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit, the last couple of episodes, for those who follow my YouTube, I'm also starting with more creative thumbnails.
Mhm.
On one side, indeed, to generate more clicks and views, because naturally I want our episodes to be more renowned. At the same time, I must admit I take great pleasure photoshopping them, because I tend to introduce little jokes. Like for this episode, the Bitcoin and Beers episodes,
I think I
you see
saw it.
guys with the Heineken in
Yeah.
the waste bin. That's
Yeah.
purposely fed. The other one, on one of the brewing tanks, the logo that I used, that's actually a beer blockchain based. There's a QR code, and it refers towards an NFT, towards the entire brewing process up until the point it gets into the bottle itself. So those are the small little jokes I
Okay,
like
yeah,
to
that's cool.
introduce.
That's
So
cool.
if for the viewers, naturally, for future episodes, there will be more jokes like that and subtle references. So makes it more fun to do so. Generally, I know these episodes last about an hour. I don't think people will mind if we go slightly over it, because there's one subject I want to address here, and I mentioned it already. It's going to be this one.
The elephant in the room for the Ethereum people.
I find it myself quite important to discuss it a little bit. Yeah, Stan knows I'm not all too much a fan of Ethereum, though I see its potential. And the Shanghai upgrade is something quite important. By reason, it has been touted since.
May I interrupt for a second?
Go ahead.
Nixo is going insolvent, and there's commercial for Nixo on the top of the. What the hell?
Hmm.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
So, no problem. So where was I? Yeah, the Shanghai upgrade is one of the main upgrades long awaited, ever since December 2020, when you could first stake Ethereum, in support of the proof of stake blockchain they are currently working on, and which became mainnet since September 2020. 2022, sorry. What is a Shanghai upgrade? Well, it is, or people call it also the Shanghai fork. It is another improvement towards the Ethereum network, but this time, these upgrades include that you can finally unstake your coins, meaning in December 2020, at the very beginning of the bull run, Ethereum pushed through its proof of stake blockchain, I'm going to say, and people could stake their Ethereum. However, you could not unstake it, meaning you were supporting the network, but you couldn't withdraw your profits. And well, during the bull run of 2021, people were saddened a little bit. They couldn't withdraw the Ethereum because it went straight up quite nicely. And during that time, me and Stan have covered it in detail in July and August last year, yeah, before the merge. Everything that was to occur with the Ethereum network. Actually, we had a little discussion about proof of stake, etc. once again, but that on the side. Back then, they made a few ripples in the sense that after the merge, it was always promised that you could immediately start unstaking. However, a few weeks right before it, they started to change it, and they said, "Look, guys, unstaking will only occur after the Shanghai upgrade, which has been estimated 24 months up. No, sorry, between 6 months up to a year after the merge." And after the merge, suddenly that update disappeared and left people in the blue. No one knew when you could unstake. I covered it, made a lot of noise about it. A few others picked it up, gave it a little twist. However, I was quite surprised at the beginning of this year, and I believe even in December, when I saw that the Shanghai upgrade is currently foreseen for March 2023. Myself, I'm actually very surprised about that. However, I do see, and I want to remain on neutral grounds here, I do see a few implications when unstaking occurs. And I want to discuss it with you guys. And sorry if I'm tumbling with my words, but the beer starts to work. I want to discuss it with you guys by reason some people are seeing a bullish uptrend. Myself, I remain a little bit in the middle. On one occasion, due to the higher price action Ethereum currently has, even despite the bear market, when compared to December 2020, when you could first start staking. At the same time, and that's something we discussed a little bit already in the back room, and that Stan mentioned, there's a little less focus suddenly on the ability to unstake. There's a more of a focus on the sudden reduction of gas fees. So I want to actually hear your guys' opinion about it.
First thing I want to add is maybe just timeline-wise, Ethereum hasn't been the most trusted source. So they say March, but yeah, we'll see if that happens in the first place. So it will be, yeah, I think it will be interesting to see if they keep that timeline. Yeah, above that, I don't know the details yet, but I assume not everyone will be able to unstake at the same time. So yeah, I'm pretty curious how they will navigate through that, and then what the details will be, and then just timeline wise, I think it will be it was the same with the move to proof of stake. It got delayed like loads of times as well. So yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to follow it up. I'm pretty bullish on Ethereum, like not on the short term, but especially on the long term. So I am curious to see how they will solve all those things, and if they are able to, I do think the project will have a bright future. But yeah, too early to tell what the implications will be or what the effects will be on just the chain in general, but also on the price, of course.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, I was thinking they would push the Shanghai upgrade much later than this year. I was expecting them to do it during the bull run. Variety of reasons. Those who follow me on my social media, especially on Twitter, will probably know about a thread I made about the Shanghai upgrade and Ethereum and their merge, whereby I said I wouldn't be surprised if they were to do it in 2024. By reason, at that point, Ethereum is following the market sentiment and is probably going upwards. So I'm actually surprised seeing it in March 2023. By reason, they are taking a huge risk. There are a lot of people currently in the Ethereum network willing to take profit, to unstake their Ethereum, sell it off, and will generally take profit. But that would also imply that there's, and if I'm not mistaken, it was about 10% of the total market cap of Ethereum, which is currently being staked, so locked onto the blockchain. The second the Shanghai upgrade is being pushed, that 10% can be deduced from their market cap. I say can, potentially be. In reality, it will be much less, but that's something to think about. And considering the date and the current bear market, I'm wondering why suddenly. Especially if I look at the past history of the Ethereum network, they've always been pushing improvements which fell in tandem that benefited the network and whereby a lot of people would actually step in or were less willingly to sell. So I'm a bit confused here. So I don't know what you guys think. So yeah.
In unstaking coins from a proof of stake network, especially when there's a lockdown period. A lot of blockchains use that, the lockdown period. It's a seesaw in between price and greed. If the price is not high, people will not unstake and sell because they don't make a lot of profit. A lot of people hold that back and start selling in little chunks. The best way to unlock is like the thing that you just said, Dimitri. Just unlock it beginning 2024 and hope the bull run is in full effect. Then you can wash all your unstakes and you don't see it hardly. Your price is going dipping a bit, but nothing special. But are they going to release all the unstakes at the same time?
No.
That's the big question. Or are they going to roll it? Eh? People who went in staking first have that amount of 1,000 hours they need to stake before unstaking. That's a mechanism that you see at a lot of proof of stake blockchains. I think Zilliqa is one of those that does that. You need to stake, and then X amount of hours your stake is locked, and it gets unlocked after that time. I think maybe Ethereum is going that route because we still don't know what they are going to implement on the backside in hours or days or timers where you can unstake. Of course, it's a good thing when you lock staking for some projects, not for all, because I like my lock times very small because when the price actions are going bananas, I want to take some bananas in figure of speech. But if you are in a bear market, it doesn't matter because there's no price action or not much. So and the update is in February, March, you say to me.
March 2023, and I'm going to immediately mention that's actually something I didn't consider. So you're making a very sentient point there.
Mhm.
I'm going to check something out after this live stream because I did a video about the Shanghai update on my channel. That was actually the last video I ever made. That's been a long time ago. It has been due. But I think there was something about April and May. I've seen on the Q&A section of the ethereum.org website because that was the same website me and you used to do those informations about.
True.
But
Yeah,
after the live stream I did, or after the video I did, it was being taken down and altered and put back up. That was very strange. Very
indeed,
strange move from Ethereum,
because
I
the
think.
ethereum.org, that's their official website with all official news being released. And
Yeah,
I do remember after that live stream that we did, that you mentioned it, hey, they changed it.
yeah,
And I know back in the day I was making a few TikToks, a few videos about the merge and the Shanghai upgrade. And the second you mentioned it, I started making a little bit of buzz around it. By reason, it was suddenly very strange that they started to reword their entire things.
but that's not new. I've seen other projects do that in the past. I've seen Cardano change some texts on their website. I've seen um, uh, Bitcoin Cash do the same thing. Bitcoin Satoshi Vision in 2018 doing the same thing. You know what it is. If it doesn't fit your needs, you can alter your website, of course. But it's strange when you do it and you don't post it out like, "Hey guys, community, we're going to change this because it doesn't fit in our way of thinking." But I'm very hopeful, and I hope the Shanghai upgrade goes great. Upgrade goes great. Awang.
Yeah, I'm
Mijn
not the
mag
only
zoef
one with the beer having
share.
words.
But I hope it goes great, and I hope they make some clever decision because I've seen the London upgrade. Everybody yelling, "Oh yes, they're going to drop down the fees." They were never dropped. They're gonna make the blocks bigger and the block times smaller.
Nope.
I hope they do it in time because if they go into a next bull run and the fees are going that high
To
like
remain
they
that
in
high, yeah.
2021, everybody was going to the Binance Smart Chain. Solana, Polygon, just to get away from those fees. I hope they don't step into the same problem they did before. I
Well,
wish them luck.
that's the current thing with the Shanghai upgrade. There's little focus on the unstaking, but from news that I'm receiving, once again, they are focusing on lowering gas fees.
But that's not a hard thing to do, eh? If
No,
you change your block size, that the problem is solved. Why
that's
don't they
something
change the
very
block
used to
size?
do. And it's one of the things that I'm currently advising to a lot of people who are building L2 solutions or layer 2 solutions. For those guys who do not know what I'm talking about, a layer 2 solution is you have your main chain, you have a project built up on top of it, something like Chainlink. And in order to reduce gas fees, you can use a zero knowledge rollup. What is it? On the layer 2 chain, you are going to bundle a variety of transactions together, and as one information block, you're going to save it towards the main chain. At that point, the gas fees are being distributed among a variety of transactions. You can actually lower your transaction fees on the layer 2. It
Yeah,
is patchwork, but
but the thing is, you don't need layer 2 chains if your layer 1 is big enough and strong enough to withstand that problem.
indeed.
And
And
that's the thing
before,
you see with a lot of chains. Their transaction times are okay. Their block sizes are too small. So you need to back up everything to send through. And that's the problem. Bitcoin has the same problem. Bitcoin can, in my opinion, never be used as electronic cash on their main chain because it A takes too long and B it costs too much to get priority to get sent. And that's where the Lightning Network is a very big step towards adoption in their thing.
indeed, the Lightning Network is a miracle for Bitcoin.
Yep.
There's a project I've recently encountered called Mashankura. It's actually being made in South Africa. It makes use of the Lightning Network, and it allows many Africans to actually send, receive, and hold a Bitcoin wallet through a traditional cell phone. So not a smartphone, but I'm really talking about traditional cell phone whereby you can send SMS. It's something ingenious, but not going to.
Wait. They sent crypto through a link. Yeah?
Um, link and linked. Yeah, it's
So
central.
so I sent a link to you, you open the link, and that brings you to a wallet that's okay. I know what you're talking. That's not new.
It's something more deeper than that. It's not with a link. It is squarely attached towards your phone number with ID verification.
Okay.
So there's a centralized part to it, but I find it ingenious. Is there something else we can cover currently? Because I'm running out of subjects here. Yeah, I've got a little bit of.
I've been mining again.
Ah, what have you been mining?
Stupid, but I'm mining on one card just to test something out, and I'm making a profit actually. In these times, Nexa coin, that's the thing I'm mining now. So a guy in a Crypto Belgium group said, hey, look at this. And I was looking at the prices, looking at the hash rate, and I was thinking, I'm going to do this 5 days and see what it gives. And I'm happy. I'm mining again on one card, of course. The other dozen cards are standing still in the garage, but that's maybe for the summer when the solar panels kick in. But I'm mining. I'm happy and it works. No, but I've been mining 2016, 2017, 2018 on the graphic cards. It was a very good time, and then everything went to. And now that Ethereum is gone, the use of GPU mining is almost gone, except for Ravencoin and a few others. But this one is something fun just to point out. Maybe the price will go up, maybe the price will go down. Who knows? Small tip.
where it concerns mining, what I might say is, even if you make a very small profit, and I'm really talking about something like $1 a day in profit with mining, keep doing so. By reason, now during bear markets, it's the greatest time to accumulate. There's a lot of miners capitulating. Zoom in on it, accumulate always on the down low. That's one of my advices as a crypto educator I'm doing. I know plenty of miners want to see the huge profits of several hundreds a day. Accumulate on the down low. You will not be sorry as soon as the bull run continues. So that's a little bit of advice from my part. With that, I'm going to say we will start rounding up this episode. By reason my beer is almost empty and my bladder is starting to get filled.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I'm squarely at the bottom. He tasted very well, so my step brother-in-law, I'm going to say it was a very nice choice. With that, I'm going to conclude this episode. No, there's one thing I want to do. Stan probably knows what I'm going to show here. This might also be interesting to you, Beers and Bitcoin. This is Cryptomania. This is a real-life event being organized on April 16th by our associated, I'm not going to say partners, but friends in the Crypto Value group from Satoshi Consultancy and Trade Premium. It is a get-together in Ghent with a variety of workshops, etc. I believe there were 60 places for 60 participants. I'm going to show the agenda. Naturally, it is Dutch spoken, but seeing that most of our audience is from Belgium and the Netherlands.
Yeah, there's a lot of people we know who participate in this presentation. So it's a very fun one to do, I think.
Indeed. So as you can see, speakers from Satoshi Consultancy, centralized finance, hardware wallets, taxation and crypto. Myself, I do hope there's still tickets available because I still need to buy one, and I'm very interested in Stefan Hulijken's talk here for taxation and crypto, because that's one of the subjects where I receive the most amount of questions of on an international level, but also on a national level, and I want to give clear answers. But sadly enough, I do not really have that many lawyers friends in my direct environment whereby I can start nagging them. So that's something I want to attend. And actually,
Stefan de Haas and Tim Broekmans are two members of Crypto België who share those infos from their groups, and those are two main speakers of that event. So I'm going to be there just to support those guys.
I will try to attend too if there's still tickets. If there's tickets, I will be there on April 16th as well.
You can drink a beer in real life, mate.
I'm going to get drunk in real life once again. So yeah, sorry, that was a little bit of shilling, but Trade Premium and I believe Satoshi Consultancy, damn it,
There are two partners of us actually. So
indeed, and they've been on the live streams as well. So
yes.
On that account, Beers and Bitcoin, if you have something to show for yourself for a future live stream you're going to do, a special event, now's your time. Go ahead.
Perfect. No, just want to thank you guys for inviting me on the live stream. It was really nice talking about these variety of topics. I really enjoyed it. Beer kicking in for me as well. Just you guys, the listeners want to follow me, just at Beers and Bitcoin on Twitter, Beers and Bitcoin on YouTube. For the rest,
Beers and Bitcoin, you're always free to drop your links in our Telegram channel. If you drop a new video, just drop your link in our channel so we can watch it too, so we can see it faster. I don't know if you're a member of us already. Just join and drop your links. The two admins are me and Dimi and Jamie. We don't block you. No problem.
That's good. Thanks.
Also, if you have an interesting subject future-wise to talk with the Crypto Belgium community or to do on live stream, say, I want to discuss something like that, hit us up. Probably you will be re-invited to watch a live stream here, or if you want to, I will join you on one of your live streams. So
No problem.
we're
Perfect.
Crypthusiasts. We're quite open to such things. We keep
Perfect.
it
Sounds
nice, simple, a little bit boozy today.
Indeed.
And it's just the afternoon, Dimi. Normally we do this at 8 o'clock. God damn.
Yeah, but the next day I have to work, so now I dare to take a few risks.
From my side, people who haven't joined Crypto België Telegram group, Dutch spoken group, just join in. You get all the updates on what we're saying here. Every article we are talking about, if you want to see those, we share those. If there are insights from other groups, we share those too. Trading analysis, I don't do, but we share all the news, all the macros, and we help people out who are stuck with wallets and scams and all that as best as we can, or we further people to other partner groups who can help you out. So no problem. Me and Dimitri are the big gatekeepers over there. We kick like 50 scammers a day the last few weeks, I think.
Something
And
about
keep going. We don't stop.
And with that, if there's no other news, I'm going to say next Tuesday, tune in for blockchain talks. Subjects I do not really know at the moment. Crypto Bull probably for Wednesday. Still need to choose a coin, probably an AI related one.
The next coin.
Yeah, but I prefer to do shit coins.
No, this is a real coin with a blockchain.
Yeah, I know, but you know me. I want to go uncensored, and I really love shit coins just to rip them a new one live. But yeah. But it might be the case I will be analyzing those if I don't have any inspiration.
When is the next Crypthusiast, Dimi? 2 weeks?
Yeah, within 2 weeks, I'm going to say. So probably somewhere end of January will be the next episode. With that, I'm going to say, as our beers are nearly finished and the bladders are filling up nicely, I'm going to say thank you guys for watching, and till next time. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.